Cruise travelers are getting scammed even before they board the ship, as well as in cruise ports of call. And the worst part, some of these scams look like the real thing and they aren't obvious. In this video, I'm sharing new and concerning scams that you'll want to watch out for this year. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I'm going to share with you 8 travel scams, and unfortunately travel scams are really, and scams in general, are on the rise, it seems, this year. And we do have some new scams to be aware of because in some cases they seem to be using new technologies, AI, and of course we still have the classics that are catching people in cruise ports of call. Now before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number 1, I did want to start with a classic that unfortunately now has a new rendition, and this is the Switcheroo. Now, what is the Switcheroo and why are cruise travelers such easy targets for this one? Well, basically what this is you go into a store or a shop in a cruise port of call, you decide to buy an item, and when you get back to the cruise ship, well, unfortunately, the salesperson has actually switched the item, so you get back and you don't have the item that you thought that you purchased, or you may even find that you get a package that is completely empty. Now, some cruise travelers recently shared with me that they were in a Caribbean cruise port of call and they went into a shop and they decided to try some face cream, and they liked the face cream. They decided to purchase the face cream, and unfortunately, when they did get back to their cabin, and they opened up the package, they found that there was no face cream in that container. Now, why are cruise travelers such easy targets? Well, let's face it, once you're in your cabin and that cruise ship is about to leave soon, there is no way that you are heading back to that store. Number 2, the canceled flight scam. Now, this one I find particularly concerning because online scams can look very legit, and honestly, they can cost you a lot of money. So according to a USA Today article, a gentleman received an email from United Airlines, or who he thought was United Airlines, saying that his flight to Rome had been canceled and he now owes $600. Now, what he decided to do is, in the email there was a phone number for customer service, so he called the customer service line to United, again, in that email, and once he reached them, he didn't pay that $600, but he likely did give his personal information to verify his identity. Now, unfortunately, after that phone call, somebody had canceled his flight to Rome, and he was stuck buying another ticket with a different airline. Now, there is a little bit more to the story, so I'm going to leave it linked down below in the description box in case you do want to read it. But it does go to show that when you get an email, even when it looks legitimate, you really do want to watch out. And it's a good idea to contact the airline or cruise line, if that is the case, directly through their official website, call their official number, or use their official app. Now, I do have some other travel scams that are using AI and technology that we really want to watch out for. But first, I did want to share with you the slot pool scam. So what is the casino slot pool scam? Well, John Heald, Carnival's ambassador, recently shared a little bit of information about this, as well as a bit of a watch out. So in many Facebook roll calls, there will be an administrator or somebody on the cruise that will organize a slot pool. And there's nothing wrong with this. A lot of people have a lot of fun with it, but something that you don't want to do, and John Heald does warn about, is give any money to that organizer ahead of time. Because once you get on the ship, the casino does actually have to give permission for this slot pool to happen. And while in most cases it will, there are times that they aren't able to accommodate because it is too busy. Now, in this case, John shared how there were about 40 cruisers on the cruise ship, and they said that they were now having difficulty getting that money back. And of course, the cruise line does not have anything to do with this, and they're not able to help. The AI voice cloning scam. Now, this one is quite concerning, and it does seem to be happening a little bit more, perhaps because we do have a little bit more AI technology that is able to replicate the sound of a celebrity or even a family member's voice. Now, a woman shared this story, and it felt a little bit close to home because I feel like it could happen to any of us. Now, what happened is she received a phone call from Mexico. Now, she said she normally wouldn't have answered it. However, her daughter happened to be on a cruise, so she did answer it. Now, when she answered the phone, she could hear her daughter saying, "Mom, Mom, Mom, I'm in a van in Mexico, help." Now, of course, any mother would be concerned. However, a man got on the phone, and this is where she got a little bit suspicious because that man said, "I have your son with me." Now, she had the man repeat it. He said, "I have your son," and the name was a little bit off. So she knew that this was one of the fake voice scams that she had heard about. Now, inevitably, the man calling would have wanted her to send money. Now, fortunately, she didn't fall for it, but unfortunately, many people do. Now, if you've ever gotten a suspicious travel text or email that seemed a little too accurate, there's a reason. Scammers are buying your personal data from brokers, and that's how they make these scams so believable. This is where Incogni, the sponsor of our video, comes in. They're a personal data removal service that automatically contacts brokers on your behalf, putting in requests to delete your personal data, your name, email, phone number, and more. Now, in the example I shared, scammers are using AI to mimic the voices of family and friends to trick their loved ones into sending money. And these imposter scams rely on the voice data that they can find online. Now, if you've ever booked a cruise, flight, or even searched for travel deals online, your data and your personal information is out there. And it's not just floating around, it's being bought, sold, and shared by hundreds of data brokers that you probably haven't even heard of. And with online scams increasing and getting sneakier, it's never been more important to protect your privacy and data online. Now, I have to say, over the last few months, I definitely noticed that I get more spam texts, spam emails, and even spam phone calls. So I did sign up recently with Incogni, and I was able to see all of the different data broker sites that have my information, and see also how Incogni is now requesting the removal of my data from those sites. Now, it's super easy to sign up. First, you create an account. It actually took me less than 5 minutes. Then you grant Incogni the right to act on your behalf to request your personal data removal from these sites. Now, the best part is that this is all done automatically, and signing up for an annual plan is best because they can do this proactively each and every month, even as new data broker sites emerge. Now, if you are interested in protecting your privacy as well as protecting yourself from spam, scams, and identity theft, I do have a 60% discount code on the annual plan with Incogni, so I will leave the link as well as the discount code below. The unpaid toll text scam. Now, this one hits close to home because it actually recently happened to a family member. They were driving to Florida for a cruise, and it makes a little bit of sense because they received a text message that said urgent. There's an unpaid toll, and they now owed, I believe it was something like $14 or something. So it didn't seem that illegitimate, but the sense of urgency to this text message. Now, the text message warned that if this toll wasn't paid within 24 hours, they would have a penalty, which could even include losing their license. Now, in this case, thankfully, my family member did not click that link, but they did tell me they were very tempted to. Now, what would have happened if they clicked that link? Well, firstly, it would lead to a phishing site where they would put their credit card information. So not only is their credit card information and perhaps some money stolen from them, but their personal information is stolen as well. And malware could be downloaded to their device. Now, I have another technology-oriented scam that has to do with QR codes. And you know how we're all using them these days when we're traveling, even on cruise ships, to look at menus. But first, I did want to go back to Facebook and talk about the fake influencer profile scam. Now, you may know about this already. However, it really is worth a warning. And I did want to share something as well, because you might be wondering, how are these scammers that are creating fake profiles, how are they getting away with it? Well, one of the ways that they're getting away with it is, of course, they're using the technology to set up many fake profiles, not just one. That's why it's so hard, even if you block people, that you always see profiles coming back again and again. But they're also using chatbots to have natural conversations, not only in comments, but in direct messages as well. You won a free cruise scam. Now, you might be wondering, when you see some of these giveaways, are they real? Well, Mostly not. Now, in particular, if you see any giveaways that are on social media, and if they say you won, but now you need to pay port fees or taxes, no, that is not a legitimate contest. Not only do they want to get your money, but they want to get your personal information as well. If it is a legitimate giveaway, and there are some, they are going to have rules and terms and conditions that you can look at on their website. Now, Carnival Ambassador John Heald shared another warning, and he shared this before, but it seems like it does still happen, where unfortunately somebody who is a follower of his actually thought that they were having a conversation through direct messages. Now, they did become a little bit upset when they thought that John Heald actually asked them for money to pay for a subscription on his Apple account. Of course, that's when John Heald shared that no, unfortunately, it was not him that was messaging with those followers. And by the way, he doesn't direct message with anybody. So anybody who's getting any messages from John Heald or even other travel influencers, just really be wary of any red flags. And one of the red flags, of course, is anybody asking you for money. QR codes. Now, you know the way it is. QR codes have become commonplace for many of us. We are looking up menus through the QR codes at restaurants on land, at restaurants on cruise ships. We're looking up travel websites and more. However, scammers have found a clever way to use QR codes to scam and trick us. But this scam has a telltale sign in the form of a sticker. Now, this is something quite new that has only recently been reported, and so far we are hearing about it in parking lots and on parking meters. And I thought about how recently I was in Key West and we rented a golf cart and we did go to the meters and we put our credit card information in. So let me tell you how this works. So in California, scammers put a sticker of a QR code over a real QR code. And then what happens is people put their credit card information as well as other personal information that goes directly to a website that looks quite similar to the actual website. However, there is a little misspelling. Now, in this case, it said POY by phone, so P-O-Y by phone rather than pay by phone, which is a little sign that most people didn't pick up on. Now, in this case, not only do they have the credit card information so they can make fraudulent purchases, but they also have identity information that can be used in other ways. Now, if you're ever in that circumstance and you aren't sure, you can actually look it up by verifying on the official website. Now, I'll leave all of the information about Incogni along with that 60% discount on an annual plan linked down below in the description of this video. And I would love to hear from you. Please let me know, have any of these scams happened to you? Have you seen any of these, or are there new ones that you know about? Please share in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now and happy cruising.